Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the exact science and methodology behind the ultimate time-saving workout life cycle. If you've been struggling to balance a crazy schedule with your fitness goals, well, you're in luck, because we're going to look at what the data actually says about getting significantly better results in just a fraction of the time.
Right off the bat, let's just bust a massive fitness myth. This deeply ingrained idea that you have to slog away on a treadmill for a full hour just to see real measurable results. We've kind of been conditioned to believe that volume and duration are the only things that matter. But guess what? Physiological research tells a completely different story. So, what if I told you that the foundation of a highly effective aerobic routine takes exactly 4 minutes? Yeah, literally 4 minutes. It sounds absolutely impossible, right? But the data we're unpacking today reveals that when intensity and recovery are perfectly calibrated, those 4 minutes can physically transform your cardiovascular engine.
Here is our chronological blueprint for today. 1. Priming for peak performance. 2. High intensity, minimal time. 3. Mastering the movements. 4. Low-impact alternatives. And finally, number 5, the essential cooldown. When you look at the timeline from start to finish, you can really see how this builds a complete journey. We kick things off with a calm preparation phase, peak with a super intense main event, and wrap up with a soothing recovery. Structuring your session exactly like this eliminates wasted time and ensures your body perfectly adapts to the stress.
All right, let's jump into section 1, priming for peak performance, because preparation is absolutely key.
Look at this stark contrast between dynamic warm-ups and static stretching. For decades, we were all taught to just touch our toes and hold it before a run. Actually, scratch that. Science now shows that holding static positions before a workout can temporarily reduce your peak muscle power. That's exactly why, to prep for high intensity, we've got to rely entirely on dynamic movements that take our joints through their full range of motion.
So, what's happening under the hood? Well, a dynamic routine with movements like walking knee hugs, arm circles, or torso twists physically alters your body's chemistry. It induces what's called the warm-up effect. Your heart rate climbs to deliver fresh oxygen, neural signals speed up, and enzymes that break down fuel start working hyper-efficiently. And maybe most importantly, this movement triggers the release of synovial fluid, which acts as a natural lubricant to protect your joints. It's basically like oiling the Tin Man. Moving right along to section 2, high intensity, minimal time. Enter Tabata. Developed back in 1996 for the Japanese Olympic speed skating team, this specific structure is legendary in the fitness world. It's 8 rounds, 20 seconds of absolute maximum all-out effort, followed by exactly 10 seconds of complete rest. Why this specific 2-to-1 ratio? Because it forces both your aerobic and anaerobic energy systems right to their absolute limits at the same time.
Dr. Izumi Tabata's original study data is just brilliant. He took one group and had them do a grueling 60 minutes of continuous moderate cycling, working at about 70% of their VO2 max. Then he tested them against a group doing just 4 minutes of pure 170% VO2 max intensity. Yep, 4 minutes versus a full hour.
And the science drop here is staggering. While that hour-long moderate group saw virtually zero improvement in their anaerobic capacity, the 4-minute Tabata group, they saw a massive 28% spike, along with some really significant aerobic improvements. It proves, without a doubt, that extreme efficiency and intensity will trump duration every single time.
Which brings us to section 3, mastering the movements, because form is everything.
Let's look at the anatomy of a burpee. It's the universally dreaded, yet brutally efficient king of bodyweight exercises. Why? Because it targets quite literally everything below the top of your head. But remember, form is crucial here. When you drop into the squat, keep those feet flat for a stable base. Kick back and lock into a high plank with your wrists, elbows, and shoulders neatly stacked. No sagging hips allowed. It's a fluid, continuous motion demanding total full-body activation.
We do need to rapidly flag some common pitfalls, though. As amazing as high-intensity interval training is, doing it wrong is a fast track to stalling your progress. Never sacrifice your form just to squeeze in one extra burpee. Make sure you actually take adequate rest. Respect that 10-second window in Tabata. And please, don't overtrain. Hitting this level of intensity more than 3 to 4 times a week just invites burnout and injury. Your muscles absolutely need time to rebuild.
Section 4, low-impact alternatives. Let's protect those joints.
It's a huge misconception that you have to be jumping off the walls just to get your heart rate up. You can absolutely reach your target cardiovascular zone while keeping your feet firmly planted on the ground. That way, you're protecting your knees, your hips, and your lower back.
Check out these super smart modifications. Hate the jarring impact of a burpee? Swap it for an inchworm. Just hinge at the hips and walk your hands out to a plank. It works your core, shoulders, and hamstrings beautifully. Instead of a jumping jack, just do a step jack. Instead of a squat jump, go for a total body extension where you rise up powerfully onto your toes. You're getting maximum metabolic conditioning, completely minus the joint stress.
And finally, Section 5, the essential cool down. Time to recover and regulate.
The American Heart Association hits the nail on the head here. A cool down is totally non-negotiable. It's not just about feeling relaxed, it's a physiological requirement. You have to actively bring your violently elevated heart rate, your blood pressure, and your core body temperature back to a stable baseline. Skipping this is exactly what causes blood to pool, giving you that dizzy, lightheaded feeling after a really tough workout.
During this recovery phase, you want to shift into static stretching. You should hold these stretches for 10 to 30 seconds each. Just take nice, deep belly breaths to manually deliver fresh oxygen right to those tired, recovering muscles.
Remember earlier when we said to avoid static stretches? Well, this is the exact moment where they absolutely shine. Moves like a seated forward bend or just resting your forehead on the floor for a deeply relaxing child's pose for a few minutes help elongate the connective tissue you just tightened up. Throwing your legs up the wall for 5 minutes is fantastic for flushing out the legs. This routine officially kickstarts your muscle repair process, so you aren't waking up crippled with soreness tomorrow. Okay, so we've covered the physiology of the dynamic prep, the crazy efficiency of a 4-minute high-intensity push, the mechanics of the movements, and the absolute necessity of the static recovery. You now possess the complete scientifically backed formula to prep, push, and recover. So knowing that it doesn't take an hour to completely change your fitness, what's stopping you from starting right now?